Hello everyone, welcome back to Infinite Throwbacks. This is episode 14, and we have the big beefy boy. We have the Hulkbuster Armor. This is another Iron Man figure. They actually did do another Iron Man. Let me get him, hold on. I'm a big fan of Iron Man in general, especially the first movie. But here's the Iron Man 2.0 figure. So this is the one that was released in the starter pack. I wanted to give a brief comparison. So there is 2 Iron Man figures in Disney Infinity. There's also 2 Captain Americas, 2 Spider-Mans. There's actually quite a few of different figures. But yeah, well, let's get Iron out of the way. Let's talk about this Hulkbuster, which is absolutely massive. This is definitely the biggest Disney Infinity figure that they've ever made in the history of the game. And it's probably the most detailed, because it's 3.0. So the 3.0 figures of Disney Infinity have the most details. They just spent the most time crafting them, like as figures and as in the game, so that's cool. The Hulkbuster did not come alone per se. He actually released alongside Ultron. So here's Ultron from Avengers Age of Ultron, the sequel to the awesome Avengers movie, the 2012 masterpiece. So here he is. They're from the same movie, you can tell because of their bases. So that's cool. Ultron is the main villain of that movie, and Hulkbuster plays a big part in one scene. And yeah, it was a cool but surprising choice to get Hulkbuster, because he wasn't in the movie that much. Like, he was only in one scene. But he made such an impact, I guess, that they decided to make him, which is cool. And here's his base, which is ridiculously massive because of his big old feet. You can see just how thick this guy is. Like, holy, he's very fat. But that's the Hulkbuster armor. It's designed to fight, well, the Hulk. So here's the Hulk. And this Hulk is from 2.0. He's one of the early figures for 2.0, obviously an Avenger. You can tell because of the ground. It's different from Hulkbusters. You can see Hulk is kind of the same size as Hulkbuster, but they're obviously meant to go fighting against each other. So this is what you're meant to see, like Hulk versus Hulkbuster, fight. Like, that's what you want to see. And you can do that in Disney Infinity. I wanted to compare him also against Venom, who is another bigger figure that I have. I only have like 3 or so big figures, but I would like to get Baymax at some point. But yeah, here he is. You can see Venom is a little bit shorter. Venom is definitely like hunched over. But yeah, I just wanted to give you a little bit of a comparison of size. It's hard to say how heavy this guy is, because he's actually quite heavy. Like, he has a lot of weight for a figure, and he is a 3.0. But I wanted to talk about the detail. Like, look at this detail. It's so good. Like, the detail is very impressive. He's got his head here. We've got the different, like, details in his joints. Like, you can see the electronics underneath his armor. Like this green, or not green, this dark gray part underneath his armor. You can see a little bit of the under armor, a little bit. You can see a little here. Just look how detailed it is. Like, all of this stuff, it didn't need to be on here, but they put it on, and I love them for that. Like, Infinity, they just crafted these figures. Like, they're mostly just art pieces. Like, even if you don't buy the figures, they're just worth it to buy them on their own. Like, just look at the detail. Like, you got all these lights and rivets and armor plating, and like, they didn't need to do this, but I'm glad that they did, because it just gives them more authentic look. Like, compared to other Toys to Life games, like Skylanders was okay. I never got into that. And Amiibos are pretty sweet. Unfortunately, I never got into them either. But I'm a big Nintendo fan. And the Lego Dimensions, which sadly was discontinued way before they started. I think the Disney Infinity figures have the most care and love put into them. Like, you can tell that the designers cared about these characters. They care about the work that goes into the figures, which is why you hardly ever see any paint smudges or any, like, defects, because they care enough to not spoil those figures for that, or not ruin them with that kind of stuff. So that's nice. I love the face especially. It looks really good. And you can tell that Iron Man himself is in here. You can tell that he's probably in this armor, which is cool. I love the stance. He looks like he's gonna punch someone in the face, which is a little, it's a little abrupt, but, okay. It's a little sudden, but, okay. I mean, he's a fighter. It makes sense. But definitely, he's one of the most worthwhile figures of the whole collection. Definitely one of I'm proudest of owning him and a lot of the other ones. I'm really proud that I picked him up. Really great. In terms of the game, he's mega powerful. Like, almost he's more powerful than Hulk. Like, that's how strong he is. He's pretty much unstoppable. Like, I think he has regeneration. He can fly, he can shoot repulsor blasts, he can punch really hard, and he's got shields. He can, let's see, he can dodge really quickly, and he just is no one can really beat Hulkbuster. Like, he's just that powerful. Like, not even Vader can beat him. Like, that's how powerful Hulkbuster is. I think he's a little bit too powerful. He's great. His special move is actually different than Iron Man's. Iron Man's is a little bit limiting because he shoots the rockets in the one direction and you can't really, like, you can't turn when you do it. But with Hulkbusters, they actually made it so the rockets actually fire in all different directions this time, and they're actually more powerful. And if you upgrade his special move, you can actually unleash more rockets from his shoulders and his wrists, which is, it's just awesome. This figure is just a powerhouse. Like, he just tanks through everyone like they're butter, which they pretty much are. I guess the only weakness of Hulkbuster is he doesn't have any, like, ranged attack. Like, he can't really shoot his repulsors unless he's flying, which kind of makes sense. I mean, he's more of a bulky tank. Like, he's not this Iron Man. This Iron Man is a good, like, all-around character. But the Hulkbuster is a slow, brutish force to be reckoned with. So he can't really shoot his repulsors. He doesn't have a long-range attack like Hawkeye or Spider-Man or Sam Flynn. He doesn't really have, like, a far attack. Like, he can't really do anything, like, from a distance. So that's his biggest weakness. He cannot do anything unless he's close to you. So he actually has a cool move where he can pull. He has, like, his magnetic pull where he can pull enemies towards them or towards him so he can dish out the damage. But if you're running away from Hulkbuster, he's probably going to catch up to you in, like, 1 second. So he can fly pretty high. He is very deadly. He's definitely someone you want to watch out for when you're fighting against him. You got to be really, really careful because he can kill you in like 2 seconds flat. So you got to be definitely on your toes. Be careful, especially when you're fighting him. You can upgrade him. He's got a lot of great moves. Very, very fun. He's got lots of cool, like, repulsor attacks. He can discharge electricity at the end of a combo, which is pretty cool. Again, the special move is incredibly powerful. When you're fighting Hulk, it's pretty fun. Just be careful. He's incredibly dangerous. He's probably the most overpowered character in Disney Infinity, other than a few other ones, like maybe Yoda, maybe Mickey, maybe Tinkerbell. Maybe those are like on the same level as him. But other than that, you're gonna have to just be aware. Hulkbuster is powerful. So yeah, he's really well done. both as a figure, he's got the weight, the detail, the stance is cool, and then he's got a lot of great abilities in the game, which is even more cool. So you'll have a blast with Hulkbuster. If you love big characters, this one's a no-brainer. If you love Iron Man and you want to collect another version of him that's more powerful but not nearly as ranged, then Hulkbuster is a great option. And if you want someone to counter the Hulk, then definitely Hulkbuster is a great addition. I had to have him. I'm a big Iron Man fan. I'm a big Hulkbuster fan. So this one, I had to have it because it was that essential for my collection. And since he's a 3.0 character, he's got all the benefits. So, yeah. I'm glad that this was one of the last figures that they released. Sadly, it is one of the last ones that they made, but still, they went out with a bang, am I right? He is definitely quite the force. Yeah, Hulkbuster. What is it? What else do I say? He's awesome. Yeah, that's it. That's all you need to know. But I thank you for watching this. If you liked it, great. The next episode will be very soon. And yeah, I will see you in the next one. I love making these. And yeah, stay tuned. Take care. And I'll see you on the battlefield.